first of all, let me just congratulate you on the conclusion of a truly epic story. I had so much fun watching it. I was very moved by your stories, and I'm super excited to talk about this today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Djimon, let me start with you.
Right.
We know you're an incredible actor. You, if gravitas was a person, it is you when you perform.
I'm stealing that. That's so accurate.
Go for it.
Accurate.
But we got to see another talent in this film. We got to see your musical debut. Tell me a little bit about how you were feeling in that moment and sort of what you were channeling.
My musical debut.
Yes.
Well, I was simply channeling my ancestors, really trying to reinvoke the forces of, the natures before me, or as from my culture, we recognize that all the elements are a representation of gods, and we do reinvoke, some of those elements or some of those gods in order to empower ourselves in that, whatever journey we're about to take. And so in that respect, and in the respect of this story, and how this story of Rebel Moon mimics so much our reality, given the fact that, for me, this is something that the continent of Africa has been dealing with and having to overcome over centuries, the indoctrination of the world, the indoctrination of the continent of Africa by the West. So that in itself speaks volume about this story.
Absolutely. I mean, I think what's so fascinating about this film is the way that it touches on moments of history. Like there are very clear parallels to history, and yet it feels incredibly timely, even in 2024.
Very much so.
So let me just skip to this question, because this is something I'm actually really interested in. And this is for all of you. In the end, I feel like this story is really about hope, change, and the way pulling together can create change when you're standing against something you see as wrong. Do you think that this message is especially important in 2024?
Oh, absolutely. As we say in the story, be on the right side of history, right?
Yeah.
Right? I think that's sort of like sums up to what you were asking. But anyways, I mean, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an important message at any time, right? I think hope is so crucial. I think community is so crucial. So I'm happy we got to be a part of a story that really speaks to those human aspects.
Yeah, I second everything these guys are saying. I think, it's wonderful when you can get a cast from all walks of life, all experiences, all continents, and I think it's the best way to sell the story of inclusion, the story of coming together no matter what we look like, feel like, and that there is always a running thread between all of us if we choose to find it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's a wonderful answer. Because I do think that, yeah, definitely there's something about this film that is about coming to, like, there is kind of the power of community. And that's actually brings me to my question for you, Elise. So Milius was very mysterious in the first film. We barely got to know them. This time, I was really struck by the fact that their motivation, unlike some of the other characters, is not about revenge, but rather about this commitment to chosen family and community. Was that something that really resonated for you?
Yeah, I'm so happy you picked up on that, because yes, for me that was something I loved about Milius. They say, I found a new family who showed me another way. And I think that's, again, such a testament to the human experience of hope and community seeking, and I hope that Milius carried some of that message throughout.
Yeah, it definitely came through. And I was, like I said, I was quite struck by it. And I thought that was like a beautiful element to add into this story. It adds like that extra sort of personal spice to the stew. So Staz, we met Tarek last time. But
Yes.
what I thought was so interesting was actually when we got his backstory, it subverted a lot of my expectations. He was such a force of nature in the first film. And this time we find out he's from something that is like very like a society that is much more cosmopolitan. I'm curious what you think that transformation when he is outside of his community says about him internally.
I think it represents what happens when we lose everything that we find familiar. We have to rebuild. We have to, and when you find him, when you see his backstory, you realize he lost absolutely everything, not just his family. I'm pretty sure I can say this, but the world that he knew, and his position as well, which is the least important thing really, but his position, and it's. Internally, it was. I think for everything, it was rebuilding. It was stripping away at all these things, whether it's not feeling worthy of them anymore, or not really knowing them anymore, or just having to shift to survive. I think that was a really fun, in a backwards way, amount of information and story to play around with. And what we see in part 2 is some of this softness and some of the vulnerability and some of the joy and the hope kind of re-emerge, thanks to the relationships that get built, the choice to fight for something greater than myself. And I think that's when you find family, whether it's chosen or blood, you know, whatever you're fortunate enough with, you get to rebirth yourself, or not even rebirth yourself, reinvoke, I guess, reinvoke and relive, or resurrect is the word I'm looking for. Resurrect the person you truly
sort
are.
of the character of Millie, in a way, the way she was, she felt, you know, taken in by this new group that turns into, you know, almost like indirectly becomes a family.
Yeah. That was a proper question. I mean, not that I haven't had that, but I was like, hold on a second. Thank you for that.
No, I asked the best question. It's fine. You can say.
You have that on the resume for sure for today.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. Thank you for another incredible film. I hope to see your characters again. We shall see.
Let us see.